Norway is a remarkable country that has often been cited as the perfect example of a well-balanced socialist-capitalist mixed economy. With one of the highest GDPs per capita in the world, only behind Switzerland and a handful of micronations, Norway enjoys a strong trade surplus, a highly skilled workforce, and one of the lowest unemployment rates globally. It is also internationally recognized as an easy place to do business. What's even more impressive is that Norway has achieved this while maintaining one of the highest levels of economic equality in the world. After taxes, the bottom 20% of earners in Norway still make on average a quarter of what the top 20% earn, compared to the OECD average, where top earners make 10 times more than the lowest earners. This level of income equality ensures a high standard of living for the majority of the population, reducing wealth disparity and social unrest. Norway also excels in working conditions. The country has robust labor protections, making long working hours and the need for multiple jobs uncommon. The OECD Better Life Index reports that only 3% of Norwegian employees work extremely long hours, compared to the OECD average of 11% or the American average of 33%. Additionally, generous parental leave policies, strong unions, and a healthy work-life balance contribute to Norwegians being among the happiest people in the world, despite their country spending half the year in near darkness. So what's Norway's secret? If their economic model is so successful, why haven't other countries adopted similar policies? Is Norway just a lucky outlier, or can its success be replicated elsewhere? The truth is, Norway wasn't always this prosperous. Back in the 1960s, its economy was largely based on fishing, with a GDP comparable to developing nations like Bangladesh or Nigeria. While Norwegians enjoyed a quality of life similar to their European neighbors in Spain and Greece, the country was far from the economic powerhouse it is today. Things changed in May 1963 when the Norwegian government asserted sovereign rights over natural resources in a section of the North Sea. This decision proved pivotal because, just 6 years later in 1969, the Ocean Viking struck oil in the region, kickstarting a massive economic transformation. By the mid-1970s, Norway was producing more oil per capita than any other country in the world, only surpassed today by Kuwait, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia. But unlike many resource-rich nations that squander their wealth, Norway took a different approach. Rather than allowing private companies like Shell, Exxon, or BP to control the industry, Norway established a publicly owned company, Statoil. This ensured that oil and gas profits flowed directly to the government rather than private shareholders. By the 1970s, Norway's GDP had grown fivefold, from $12 billion to $65 billion. Instead of reckless spending and tax cuts, the government had the foresight to recognize that oil wealth was finite. They established a massive sovereign wealth fund, now the largest in the world, even surpassing China's State Investment Corporation. This fund, which belongs to the people of Norway, ensures that the country's natural resources benefit not only current citizens, but future generations as well. Today, each Norwegian citizen essentially has around $200,000 invested in what is essentially a national hedge fund. However, this money is not directly accessible to individuals or even the government. Only the returns generated by the fund are used to finance public services like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. This fund is also ethically managed. Norway refuses to invest in industries such as weapons manufacturing, tobacco, or companies with poor labor practices. In an effort to diversify its revenue sources, the fund is even prohibited from investing in fossil fuel companies. This forward-thinking approach ensures that Norway remains economically stable even in times of declining oil prices. However, Norway isn't without its challenges. The country has a high cost of living, significantly higher than wages alone can compensate for. While the average Norwegian earns around $3,200 per month, more than the U.S. average of $2,032, essential goods and services are much more expensive. A mid-range restaurant meal for two costs around $92 in Norway compared to $50 in the US. Similarly, a basic Volkswagen Golf costs $36,473 in Norway, nearly double its price in America. Despite these costs, most Norwegians accept high taxes and expensive goods in exchange for financial security. No one in Norway fears medical bankruptcy, crushing student debt, or homelessness due to job loss. Universal health care, tuition-free. Higher education and strong social safety nets provide a level of security that many other developed nations struggle to offer. Norway's taxation system also plays a vital role in maintaining this balance. With progressive taxation higher, earners contribute more to public services, which ensures funding for essential programs without burdening lower-income citizens. The corporate tax rate remains competitive, making it attractive for businesses while still funding government initiatives. The efficient use of tax revenue in Norway highlights how a well-managed economy can create both wealth and equity. So, is Norway the perfect economy? Should every country model itself after it? Not necessarily. While Norway's approach to economic planning has been exceptional, its success is partially due to luck. Simply copying its policies wouldn't guarantee the same results in every country. Other nations may lack the natural resources, political stability, or social trust that enable Norway's system to function so effectively. However, for nations experiencing an economic boom, whether from natural resources or other industries, Norway's model provides valuable lessons in responsible wealth management. Rather than prioritizing short-term gains, long-term investment in infrastructure, education, and social programs can create a sustainable economy that benefits all citizens. Thanks for watching. As always, sources for this video are in the description, and feel free to reach out with any questions.